As you flip through your countless pages of notes a week before your exam, you realize that you barely understand any of it. An hour or two passes, your eyes have glossed over words upon words, but frustratingly, nothing seems to be sticking. Sound familiar? While so-called brain hacks don't necessarily work and performance-enhancing drugs can have negative side effects, there are actually a couple of scientific principles about learning in the brain that every student can incorporate into his or her study routine to help make their study sessions that much more effective. Everyone knows that you should probably start studying well before a test, but sometimes that just doesn't happen. However, science has revealed that it might not just be the length of time you study, but the space in between study sessions. Whether you're training a skill or trying to memorize your notes, improvement seems to be largely affected by the spacing and schedule you use. An analysis by the University of Nevada found that spaced practice is more effective than massed practice. Spaced practice is a learning strategy that breaks up practice into a number of short sessions, whereas massed practice focuses on continuous repetition. Spaced practice forces you to work harder at retrieving and reactivating memory traces between sessions and has also been linked to the growth of dendritic spines, the part of the neuron that receives input and forms connections. Based on these results, it is better to distribute your practice over many short sessions rather than a few long sessions. For example, if you have a history test, math test, and chemistry test all next week, you might be tempted to spend a whole day studying for each subject. But it might just be more conducive to your learning to spend a shorter amount of time on each subject and rotate between them. The importance of practice. Do you often find that even after poring over your notes for hours upon hours, you still wonder why you have trouble when it comes to the test? That's because repetitive rehearsal might not be the most effective way to learn something new. Researchers performed a study where they gave a list of words for subjects to memorize. There were 3 groups and 8 sessions where the student would either study the word list or be tested on it. The first group alternated back and forth between study and test sessions for a total of 4 each. Group 2 had 6 study sessions and 2 test sessions, while Group 3 only had 8 study sessions. 2 days later, a final test was conducted, and it was found that better performance came with more test sessions, with the first group about twice as likely to recall the words compared to the third group. Thus, it is much more effective to transfer information to your long-term memory by engaging with the material. For example, instead of repeatedly looking over your notes or textbook, you could collaborate with your peers to come up with a list of possible test questions to practice on. Repeatedly retrieving memories and activating areas of the brain important for storage and retrieval are extremely important in strengthening connections between concepts and solidifying them. This way, you will be able to remember ideas much more quickly during the actual test, and it will also allow you to spend your very limited time more effectively. Lastly, while a certain amount of stress can heighten your awareness and help you focus, many people are actually stressed to a level that is detrimental to their health. Stress releases a class of hormones called glucocorticoids. These hormones, especially cortisol, impairs the hippocampus, an area of the brain critical for encoding and recalling memories, by killing off important brain cells. This can actually cause long-term changes to your brain and decrease your ability to learn new information. Stress also impairs the immune system, throws off your hormone balance, and can put you at risk for a number of health problems, from heart disease to depression. Hopefully, these will help to guide you in creating a study strategy that works for you. While these tips might allow you to study more effectively, remember that some of the most important factors for learning and memory are actually maintaining a healthy and well-balanced body. Getting enough sleep, having a healthy diet, and taking some time off to do the things you enjoy can drastically improve both your mental and physical health, and that can do wonders for your brain.